Alright, next video I'm going to do on my blog is under the hood of a Parker 51. A while ago I did a tutorial on this not really a tutorial, but more of just a, kind of showing off what's under there for those who are interested. I'm not really going to get into the fine details of how to take this off. I will note it though throughout this little expedition here. So let's get started. This is a Parker 51 Vacuumatic. The back end filler unit is missing because I'm working on it right now for a client of mine. But this is the hood, clutch ring, and I'm just going to break this down to show you what's underneath. This hood is already loose. Normally you would want to use heat, very carefully applied to this area, and section pliers and a rubber grip on here to get this off properly. This one will just screw off because the shellac is already softened and loosened and has no bond on it anymore. Alright, pop this out of here so you can really get a good look at this. Set that down. Pull the clutch ring off. Set that down. So barrel, clutch ring, hood, Parker 51 under the hood. So I'll break this down and explain each individual piece. First we have the nib. Simple enough. It's a tubular shaped gold nib. They do make octanium nibs, which is kind of an alloy, but this one's the gold variety. Looks to be a medium maybe. Parker did not mark this size on their nibs, which is kind of unfortunate, but you can tell just by writing with it. Haven't tested this one yet though because the fill unit's not restored. Next is the feed and breather tube. You can see the funky shape on this feed. It's rounded and then it cuts in and goes out, and it's kind of flat there. If you look from the top with bright light, you can see there is a hole in it and a slit, ink vein right there. Breather tube. The breather tube goes directly into that hole there and lets it breathe. Here's the collector. This is one of the great parts of the Parker 51 because of this collector and all these fins running around it. The 51 stores a lot of ink in those fins, and because of the insulation of the hood being wrapped around the nib like that, the 51 will write a lot longer than most pens once it is empty. You can just dip the hood of your 51 in ink and it will write for probably a good day or two. I've done it with mine before. So that's it though. Simple as that. That's even less complicated than the Schaefer vac fill that we talked about in the last video. This is pretty darn easy. There is a what could be called a shoulder inside this collector that stops the feeder nib from going in too far, so it makes it really easy on me to align it. And if you ever do take your 51 hood off, you'll notice that the hood only screws on one way and this collector can be turned any direction. So oftentimes you will end up with a hood and a collector that are twisted like that, wrong way, wrong alignment. Here's how to do it right on first or second or third try. Usually takes me two. Screw on the hood all the way. Alright, find out where it sits when it's pointing like that. Mark it with your thumb, with your eye, and hold your thumb there. Unscrew this. Sorry about my blurry camera. It's not very expensive, but it does do the job. Alright, then insert the nib in and try to get it lined up as best you can with that visual mark and where your thumb is. Usually it will take two tries of this. I've gotten it once or twice successfully. First try perfectly. It doesn't usually happen. There you go. You see this one? If you can see that right there. It's just a little bit crooked. So you'll unscrew it again. And yep, this takes some fine tuning. Turn that just a little bit. Screw it back on. Could use just a little bit more tweaking. I'd probably sit here on camera tweaking it for hours because I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to this. Screw it in all the way again. There we go. Perfect that time. Alright. There you go. Under the hood of a Parker 51. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope that's useful to you.